Hello, and welcome to 21 Days to Solstice. This is our first day, and I would like to speak a bit about wisdom keepers. We are in the season of darkness right now as we approach the winter solstice here in the Northern Hemisphere. And I don't want to exclude our Southern Hemisphere folks. Please join us. But in this season of dark, there are many traditions of light, from Hanukkah, menorahs to Kwanzaa candles, Chalaka chalice lights, solstice lights, Christmas trees. It's just part of most of our cultural experiences. And this year, I would like to offer a light to inspire and to awaken some inner resources that we all have. And that particularly centers around the feminine, because this is the season of darkness, and at the winter solstice, the sun, which is so key to our survival, is reborn. And from then on, it begins to grow and grow and grow in strength. And so I would like to offer these 21 days, this anticipation period, as we wait for that new light to come. I'd like to offer some stories around the feminine, because it is through the feminine that all things are born. So, part of that is taking our time to rest and rejuvenate. So let's just take a moment to take a deep breath. And another breath, this time exhaling any excess stress that you might be carrying here in the holiday season. So inhaling a rejuvenation and life force. And exhaling all that stress and all those overextended to-do lists. And one more breath. So, here we sit in anticipation. Here we sit as the pendulum swings, as the stars dance in their astrological rhythms, and as one age moves into another. This is a constant, ever-ending cycle of rebirth, of new energies moving in, and as those become out of balance, introducing some new energies. So as these ages move through, what happens to the wisdom stories of the passing ages? They survive through stories, remembered stories. And they survive through ancestral memories, those tugs at our heart, those calls. They survive through the very stones and the water that surrounds us. And these wisdom keepers are really, really, really important. And as we move through these 21 days, I will be bringing forth some wisdom teachings from different cultures, particularly around the feminine. So if you have not seen the movie Moana, I really encourage. It does have some Disneyfication imbalances, which I talk a bit about in my blog post, and I will put a little link for you on that. But one of the wonderful things about the movie is that it does talk about this calling and these wisdom keepers. So the crazy grandmother is the wisdom keeper, and she seeds the stories of her people into the children through story. That is just part of her offering to the community. And in this particular story, she seeds these stories, and for Moana, it's like life force, and it triggers something within her. And there's also the ancestral memories that are coming through that she doesn't quite understand. And it's this call to the sea. So grandmother being the wisdom keeper, her ancestral memories, and then the ocean calling her, the ocean wanting to share its stories. These are all forms of wisdom keeping. And in our culture, a lot of those wisdom keepings also come through books and movies. And we do have to be able to discern for ourselves where those truths are. And also separate, where the truths come through, even in kind of a messy story sometimes. So in Moana, the whole story is around regenerating, about finding the heart and returning the heart of Te Fiti, the heart of the feminine, the heart of the creator. And through this whole story, we see Moana in fierceness as she challenges Maui. And we see her in tenderness, and we see her in doubt, and we see her in many, many faces of the feminine. And one of the things that is so powerful, I believe, about this movie is that Moana takes all of these things with her. She doesn't really try to do this alone. And there are certainly moments where she feels alone. But even in the most alone times, she still has her chicken hey. But she gathers these, and this is the feminine energy. The feminine energy is like gathering things, gathering resources, honoring all of the different aspects. For Moana, it's her village who loves her. It's her inherited leadership roles, her love from her mother who supports her, the teachings about leadership from her father, Maui's, even in his somewhat imbalanced in this movie, in the story that he brings forth, she takes all of these in. She knows that she needs to gather these resources in order to serve her people. And that is very much the feminine. She doesn't try to take credit. The story is not about her. The story is about serving her people. It touches your heart, and I think it touches your heart because it touches that place within us that knows that we also have these possibilities to travel our oceans, to be the voyagers of our story, to tap into our own inner wisdom in those times where we don't know what's coming. We don't know what is to happen. And so we have to dig deep. And that again is part of the feminine, that digging deep, that moving into the mystery, into the unknowing, and being able to sit with that, let it speak to us, and then move from there. And the moving from there really does require the masculine energies to move out into the world. But the feminine is about the gathering. The feminine is about the whole village and taking that with us. So I hope that you will spend some time today and go in a little bit and ask yourself, who are the wisdom keepers for you? Are they your ancestors? Are they ancestral stories? Are they favorite writers? Who are those keepers of wisdom, those teachers that incite something within you? And I want to use that word in this juicy, awakening sort of way. Now, yes, do you understand this? That sense of inspiring and that calling forth to serve the world in the way that is truly ours and a way that serves all. So spend some time with that today. Go within, honor yourself, honor the wisdom keepers in your life. And if you don't have them, call them to you. Okay. So have a happy day here on December 1st, and I will see you tomorrow for day 20 of the 21 days to solstice. All right, take care.